Hello, my little goblins. We're back at it again, and this time we're going to be playing Tellarknight. I didn't think I was going to make this deck, but you know what? I was like, you guys deserve to see if this deck is good or not, and I want to make sure I deliver. So, we're playing Tellarknight, and yes, we're playing the Sakitama because it's a good extender for the deck. On top of that, we're playing some of the new cards, like Lyran's a new card. The newest card they got, really, that's like the biggest like extender is this card right here, Caduceus, and we also got this card off the ban list. This card is going to be crazy, and it's going to be the focal point of the deck. There's two variations you can play of this. You can technically, the reason why this card was strong in the, or not even strong, the reason why it was like decent was the fact that this card can go into Cyber Dragon Infinity, which is a negate. So a lot of the end boards that you would see would kind of be like Apollousa with Cyber Dragon Infinity and maybe something else, maybe one of their traps. But we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be doing some fun stuff. Maybe we do that in another video, but for right now, we're going to do some fun stuff. So this card also has you detach 7 materials from this card, skip your opponent's next turn. It's the only card in the game that really does affect like that in the entirety. Some cards say skip their main phase, sometimes it says skip their main phase, and then you play another card that makes them skip their battle phase, so you skip most of their turn. This card is they don't have anything. They don't have a draw phase, they don't have a standby phase, they don't have anything. So I think that is pretty funny to me. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, we're here with game number 1. We're playing against yugioh. We're starting off strong. We're going to go into our boyo. And our boyo is going to... By the way, there's no way... So, for us to do the turn skip, we have to specifically open Pink Girl, the new girl, Lion, and a card like that... Like Altier or something like that. Like that's usually what we have to open. In this case, we're actually going to go into Diamond here, and then we're going to go into Baguska. So what this does is this card has, because obviously you can't activate effects with Baguska, but this card, what it allows you to do is while this card has material, neither player can send cards from the deck to the graveyard. So it's actually pretty good against like tier limits and stuff. You don't really play that much tier limits, but I figure it's better going than this than anything else, like just some random cards. So we're going to max see our opponent, and we're going to call by the Ash. And our opponent is playing Pearly, so again, this card doesn't really do too much, but Baguska is going to completely shut them out from the game. He goes into Fucho, this is not going to do anything. Honestly, he's playing into the max C, so I get to draw 3 cards now. So now I just have to, and since I drew a monster, I can actually just go into a Zale. Pop it. And he can't activate, so GG, pop. Now I get to draw 2, and it's GG. Vega's gonna let me special summon, now I can start comboing off with this. And here comes the boy. Yeah, you have to make sure when you're OTKing with this deck, because this deck is actually like hard to OTK with, and I know it sounds weird because you're playing these cards, but like this card here, just to give you an idea, like this card here locks you when you use it. It locks you into you can only attack with XZ monsters, and then this card, did we banish it? What happened to? Oh, it's right here. This card here makes it so you can't attack with you can only attack with Tellarknights, so it makes it actually very difficult to OTK with. And honestly, my opponent scooped. I don't even know if I was going to be able to OTK them. There might have been a line, but it's kind of rough. I'm going to be real. Alrighty, we're here at game number 2 against yugioh. Our hand has full combo. Like, this is full combo right here. It's not the best full combo, but it's pretty close to the best. The best full combo, we would have the one that lets us draw a card, or add a card to hand. But when you go into Kai, this is literally how you combo. I'm just going to explain it real quick. So, you summon any of the monsters. You need Altier, though, in the graveyard or in hand. So, you summon that card, and then Lyran special summon itself. You search. You make sure you search for this. And then when you go into this card, you want to use this card's effect to banish Sheraton, which lets you grab this card. And then this card can special summon itself. And then, boom. you can grab this card, which is going to enable everything. Now we get rid of the XZ monster. We don't need it anymore. Just make sure when you use this card, you usually, I don't want to say always, because if you have it in the graveyard already, you don't need to. But you want to grab this card so you can send this to the graveyard. So now I bring this card back. That comes back. And then we go right back into the boss monster. So we use the secondary effect, which lets us add this one card to hand. We could add 2 cards to hand, but we just don't have in the graveyard. Now we go into pull to me, whatever. And then we go into the boss monster, and then boom. And turn's gonna end, and boom, it's turn 3 now. It's my turn again. Thank you. I deserve it. I think I worked hard for this. In my opinion, I worked my ass off for this. And that's how you win. It's degenerate. I'm going to say that right now. There's a lot of degenerate things in this game. And I think it's actually kind of funny to do to people. Alrighty, we're here at game number 3 against VFD. Another degenerate. Our hand is not very good to actually do our combo. So we're probably just not going to be able to do it. It is what it is. We're going to bring this card out. We're going to banish to add the spell. We're going to use the spell on the Altarian card. Then I'm going to go into this. That's going to go into Deltrios. We go into Azala. I actually changed out Azala out of the deck, and now we have some more Link cards. I wasn't playing really any Links before. Just so you can abuse Deltrios. Because this card, every time it's sent to the graveyard, it's not a once per turn effect. Every time it's sent to the graveyard, you can search a Tellarknight out of your deck and special summon it. So you can actually link climb with it. So, yeah, we ended up putting IP in this place. So we're playing like IP, Nightmare, Apo, and stuff. You could still play her if you wanted to. But here we go, Baguska. See, if I was playing IP, I could have had IP with Baguska, which would have been better in case he had like Imperm or something. But it's still pretty good. We have Maxi. He's going to cross out the Maxi, which is whatever. Here comes Thrust, and then we get called by on this. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Kind of a yikes. Here comes that. He steals our Baguska, and then he is going to... I guess he's just going to go Zeus. Because he can't do anything with us. So yeah, I guess he just should go Zeus with it. Okay. Well, we can play through this. So I'm going to summon Altair. Altair is going to special summon. So this is why I do what I do. I do what I do because I bring back this brings back Altarian, and then when he sends to graveyard, I'm going to be able to special summon again because of the Delt. So it's actually like a pretty like awesome play, because now look, pop, he gets rid of everything on the board, and now I can use this to special summon Lyran, which counts as a Constella card, so I can special summon this. Because remember, you can only special summon this if you have a Constella card. So now we get our spell. You can play it. Honestly, I didn't even need to do this. I just brought this back anyway. Here comes this. I think the opponent ends up scoop. If his opponent scoop before I can do anything, he might. Yeah, he just scoops before I can even go for before I can even go for a kill. I don't even think I would have had kill there, but yeah, he just rage quit out of it. Alrighty, here we are with game number 4, and our hand is honestly looking pretty scrumptious. We have full combo, so this is the ideal opener. Is you have Deneb and Lyran, because Deneb adds the Altair, and then you have full combo from there. And this hand that I have currently actually plays through some interruption, like pretty easily in my opinion. If you're playing against this, by the way, the choke point is probably like Skybridge, I would imagine, if you just don't want to get turn skipped. You probably want to interrupt the Skybridge, just because Skybridge, it takes this card off the board. If this is off the board, it's a little harder for them to go into it. So here it comes. Bam. Because now this lets you set this up. And then boom, we got it super easy. And we have really sick follow-up for next turn too. And I get to grab the only mistake is when I used my resurrection, should always use your resurrection. You should always keep Lyran in the graveyard, because it counts as a Constellar card. So I would be able to grab this card, which is a Tellarknight card, and I'd be able to grab both of them pretty much. So that's like the only misplay here. But our hand's pretty cracked anyway, to be completely honest. And now it's this GG. We have kind of everything. Here comes the Neeb. And yeah, he's just gonna concede, obviously. Alrighty, this is the 5th and final game against Juka, whatever his name is, Joshua, but with a CH, Juka. I don't even know. Not gonna bother. So we're not gonna FTK them with the whole loop. Honestly, like most of my replays are kind of like that, so I'm just trying to like choose games that are like not just like showing you the combo. So I thought this one was pretty good. There is one thing I do want to know. So I use the this card to go into this one. I think actually probably the right choice might have been going into Dark. Where's Dark? Right here. Because this card... Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, never mind. I think this was probably fine then. Because I was thinking about, like, having a way of going into Pleiades. Because if I go into that, I would have a bounce. But I think this is fine. And I max C. My opponent has no answer. But he has Imperm for the Vaguska, so... By the way, little catch-22 here. My opponent is playing Kashtira Sword Soul, but they opened the entire Sword Soul package, so I had zero clue this guy was playing Kashtira. So, just a little heads up, because he just does full Sword Soul things. I thought I was actually going to die here. I actually think, if this guy knew what my deck does, I actually, unironically, think he probably should just call Light. Just kill your own card here. And if he called Light, it'd also turn off my Nibiru anyway. It would keep his Baron to Fleur negate. The reason I didn't activate Nibiru, I was just kind of waiting, was because I could have technically activated before he went into Baron, but I just didn't see the point in doing so because I don't think he can OTK me anyway. And I wanted to just get the Baron out of the way because he's giving me a bunch of draws anyway. So he ends up negating it. I survive. And here I go. I mean, I have triple tap his talent, which is kind of broken. But I don't actually do the play because remember what I said. It's a little hard to OTK with this deck, right? So I end up doing a play just to showcase some of the other Tellarknight cards that you could play. So here's Tellarknight Trivia, which bounces everything back to each other's hands. So that means these cards, I can use these cards' effects again when it's my turn. And I get to hand rip his hand. I hit Birth, and then I look at his hand, and I hand rip another card. So he has Protos in hand, and he has Birth. So if he top decks, the thing that's really stinky is if he top decks anything decent, I'm fucked. But like if he top decks like Fenrir or something like that, I'm actually like in kind of a lot of trouble. But I do have Maxi again. He ends up top decking Scareclaw Kashtira. That's not good enough. So we squeak by with the win. Was there an OTK line? Maybe. I just wanted to use Trivia so I can showcase him in the video so you guys can see this card, because this card's kind of nutty too. So, alright, welcome to the recap. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments. And if you didn't, let me know down in the comments too. I hope you guys did enjoy it though. Also, subscribe to the channel and join our Discord. We host tournaments every Friday. This Friday, if you guys are watching this as this gets released, we have a tournament that's going to be a no-holds-bar. The only card banned is Max C. You can play whatever you want. So you can play banned cards if you want. Want to play Pot of Greed, go for it. Should be pretty interesting because I think there's a few archetypes that are going to be ridiculous. So I'm not really sure why we chose this ban list, but here we are. Let's talk about the deck, though. Is the deck good? Is the deck worth building? I'm going to say no and no. It's not. I will say this. I want to say this is the lesser competitive version of the deck, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Like the cards I'm playing, like all these XZ monsters and stuff, I got the inspiration from it from tournament decks that actually placed in tournaments, like top four, like a 300-person tournament and stuff like that. So it's not like I just pulled this out of my ass. Like, there's a pretty competitive list for the most part, but like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like in this meta, since people like play a lot of hand traps and stuff, your combo gets interrupted really easy. And I think maybe I might have not been understanding how you're supposed to combo with this deck, I guess, because like my end boards were kind of like poopy caca for the most part. I mean, I would either FTK someone with the turn skip, or I would end on like Bagooska Pass, and I don't know if that's normal for the deck. I don't know if there's supposed to be an in between. From my understanding, it looks pretty normal, but I don't know. Because honestly, obviously, you could do anything you want if you open Lyran plus a normal monster. Like if you open Lyran plus Altair, or Lyran plus honestly even this, or Lyran Deneb, like you're Gucci, right? But if you don't, you're kind of sitting there wondering what the hell's going on. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to do 3 different ratings this time. I'm going to do a scale of 1 to 10, how good is it? I'm going to say it's like a 6.5, 7. I think there's potential here. I think if I was playing, maybe I was playing the more like the Scythe Lock version, which is kind of lame, but like if I was playing that, maybe that would be more consistent and better. Or maybe the Zephyr version would maybe be a little more consistent and better. So I'll give it a 6.5, 7, just for that. Tier list, obviously, this is not going to be on the tier list. It's going to be a rogue tier. Very, like, medium in the medium rogue tier. Like, I don't put it that high on the rogue list. But finally, I'm going to put this on is it worth it tier. And I'm going to put fuck no. You know why? Because look how many it's a ridiculously expensive deck. Like, look how many URs I'm running. I'm running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then you can kind of count this as in archetype, but you can play this in Exosister too. But like 14 in archetype URs is insane. It's actually insane. So I do want to point that out. Like, the deck is ridiculously expensive. And yes, if you're playing the other version, maybe you can get away with playing these cards at 1. But still, even if you play like those 2 cards, like almost everything at 1, it's still a lot of URs you need. It's still a ton of URs. So don't get that. Don't be like, oh, well, if I play at 1, it's not good. It's a lot. It's a lot of URs. So I don't think it's worth building. Because like, there's so many other decks out there that are just like funner. Like, not only just funner to play, but just like better and less of a headache to play. Because like honestly, if you're just sitting down to play Master Duel and like chill out, you know what I mean? Like, why do you want to keep track of like what can attack? Can a Tellarknight attack? Can my Constellar attack? Can my Eggsy? Am I locked into only Eggsys? Like, it's really annoying. It's like, it's not enjoyable. I'm gonna be real with you. It's like it's fun to a certain extent, because sometimes it's fun playing decks like this, but it gets a little tedious over time. Because remember, I want you to remember this quote. You have to play with these restrictions and feel bad about it while your opponent's playing shit like Cash or Pearly, or honestly, even Tier Limit's pretty good still right now. That your opponent's playing cards that don't have these types of restrictions, right? So yeah, it's not that fun when you think about it like that. It's like, oh man, I have to work twice as hard as my opponent just playing Unicorn and ending on like 30 interruptions, or ending on a floodgate plus multiple interruptions. It's like, yeah, that sounds like fun. That sounds like a game you want to play, right? So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but could this get better in the future? Possibly. I think it could. Not 100% sure what, but like I said, I might end up trying a different variant out where it plays maybe some of the floodgates, or maybe it plays like some of the negate traps and stuff like that. Maybe that will have a little more thing, but like if it ends up not being good, I'm probably not going to make a second video on it, but maybe it will. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if there is other than the fact I know there's other variants of the deck. Let me know what you think about this deck and stuff like that. because I don't want people typing in the comments, actually, if you play this version of the deck, it'd be better. I know there's other versions of the deck I could be playing. I wanted to turn skip, and honestly, the deck I used was not even like that uncompetitive, because there's a list with similar ratios that top 4 in a 300-person tournament. I would say that's pretty good. It's probably better than what you're doing. Alright? It's probably better than you. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say. You little rodents. Alright, bye.